You think your family has drama? Trust me, the gods of Olympus would like a word. And we're not talking about petty arguments over the remote or stealing a sibling's favorite hoodie. We're talking about a father so terrified of his own kids that he decides the most logical solution is to eat his pregnant wife. This isn't just some weird old story. It's a genuinely disturbing look inside the mind of a god and the truly bizarre origin of one of mythology's most famous goddesses. It all starts with Zeus, the brand new king of the gods. He just won a brutal decade-long war against the Titans and finally brought some order to the cosmos. Now you probably know his wife Hera, but she wasn't his first. His first wife was a titaness named Metis. Her name literally means wisdom, and she was famous for being the smartest of all gods and mortals. In fact, she was the one who helped Zeus win the war by brewing a potion that made his father, Cronus, vomit up all of Zeus's siblings he had swallowed. But a dark shadow hung over their marriage, a terrifying prophecy. An oracle warned that Metis would have 2 children. The first, a daughter, would be wise and powerful, a match for Zeus himself in intellect. But the second would be a son, one destined to grow stronger than Zeus and, you guessed it, overthrow him. This was Zeus's absolute worst nightmare. He had just overthrown his own father, who had overthrown his father. That was a cycle of patricide he was desperate to break. Drowning in paranoia, Zeus decided he couldn't let this happen. He looked at his wise, beautiful wife, carrying his unborn child, and all he could see was a threat to his throne. Metis had this incredible ability to shapeshift, a skill she'd actually used to try and get away from Zeus before they were married. But now, Zeus used his own charm to trick her. He challenged her to a little game of transformations, and when she playfully turned herself into a fly, he saw his chance. He opened his mouth and swallowed her whole. But here's the thing, swallowing her didn't solve the problem. Metis was already pregnant, trapped inside the king of the gods. She didn't just disappear. She kept on living, becoming a voice of counsel from deep within him, and she got ready for her daughter's birth. Somewhere inside Zeus's body, Metis began to forge a tiny helmet and a suit of armor for her baby, the sound of her hammer echoing from inside the god. Before long, Zeus started to get a headache. And this wasn't just any headache. It was a divine, skull-splitting agony that made him howl so loud the entire world could hear him. This was the feeling of a goddess growing and arming herself inside his own head. The pain got so bad, so unbearable, that he bellowed for his son Hephaestus, the god of the forge, and ordered him to do the unthinkable. He told him to grab his smithing axe and crack open his skull. Hephaestus did as he was told. With one clean, powerful swing, he brought the axe down on his father's head. And from that ghastly wound, something impossible happened. Athena sprang out, not as a baby, but as a fully grown woman. She was covered in the shining armor her mother had made, gripping a spear and letting out a war cry so fierce it shook the very foundations of Mount Olympus. The other gods could only stare in total shock as a goddess, born from pure thought and mind-splitting pain, announced her arrival. Athena was instantly welcomed by the gods. As Zeus's favorite child, she was given immense power and respect. Her bizarre birth defined who she was. Born from the head of Zeus, she became the goddess of wisdom, battle strategy, and civilized war, a perfect mix of her mother's brains and her father's power. She stood for a new kind of strength, one based on sharp thinking and skill, not just raw brute force. And what about Metis? She was never set free. She stayed inside Zeus forever, her wisdom fused with his, offering him advice for the rest of time. In a twisted way, Zeus got exactly what he wanted. By swallowing wisdom itself, he prevented the birth of the son who was prophesied to dethrone him. In the process, he absorbed the very quality he needed to be a powerful ruler. The birth of Athena wasn't just a shocking family drama. It was a cosmic power move that secured Zeus's reign for good. But it came at a truly disturbing price. The story of Athena's birth is a wild reminder of how far the powerful will go to stay in charge. Zeus couldn't stand the thought of being overthrown, so he consumed the threat and literally gave birth to a daughter who would be loyal only to him. It's a powerful story about solidifying patriarchal rule, showing a male god taking on the ultimate female act of creation. So what do you think? Is this the most messed up birth story in all of mythology? Or do you know one that's even crazier? Let us know in the comments below. And if you enjoyed this dive into the weirder side of myths, don't forget to like and subscribe for more disturbing origin stories.